July 1944. Dawn breaks over the blood-soaked bocage of Normandy, near the village of Saint-Jean-de-Day. The air hangs heavy with the acrid stench of cordite and burning diesel, mingled with the damp earth churned by endless tracks. A young Obergefreiter in a Panzer IV Ausf H peers through his gun sight, his breath fogging the cold glass. Below him, across a shattered hedgerow, an American M4 Sherman lumbers forward, its olive-drab hull scarred but defiant. The German gunner aligns his crosshairs on the Sherman's frontal glacis. Range, 600 meters. He fires. The 75mm KWK-40 recoils with a thunderous crack, the shell streaking toward its target. This moment, frozen in the chaos of the Normandy campaign, would linger in the minds of many German panzer crews. The Panzer IV, the workhorse of the Wehrmacht's armored divisions, had evolved through years of war. By mid-1944, its long-barreled 7.5-centimeter gun could penetrate up to 109 millimeters of rolled homogeneous armor at 500 meters with standard Panzergranate 39 rounds. German tankers, hardened by battles on the Eastern Front against T-34s, expected their shots to devastate any medium tank at such ranges. They had seen Soviet armor crumple under similar fire, hulls breached, crews incinerated in seconds. Yet, as the smoke cleared from that dawn engagement, the Sherman continued advancing. The shell had struck the sloped upper front plate, 50.8 millimeters thick but angled at 56 degrees, presenting an effective thickness exceeding 90 millimeters against kinetic penetrators. The impact left a deep scar, perhaps spalling fragments inside, but no fatal breach. The American tank pressed on, its crew shaken but alive, returning fire with its own 75mm M3 gun. This was the reality that began to unsettle veteran crews of the 12th SS Panzer Division and Panzer Lehr. In the hedgerows and fields west of Caen, Panzer IVs often held defensive positions, ambushing advancing Allied columns. German doctrine emphasized precision gunnery and superior optics. Their Zeiss sights allowed first-shot kills at distances where Allied tankers struggled. Records from the period showed that the KWK-40 could reliably defeat the Sherman side armor, 38mm, or turret front at most combat ranges. A direct frontal hit at close quarters might penetrate the lower hull or mantle, but against a hull-down Sherman or one angled in the uneven terrain, the results were frustratingly inconsistent. What the Germans anticipated was swift destruction, a single penetrating hit igniting ammunition or fuel, the turret blown skyward in a pillar of flame. Early war experiences reinforced this. The short-barreled Panzer IVs had struggled, but the upgunned models dominated in Africa and Russia. They expected the American tank, mass-produced in distant factories, to be inferior, fragile, a product of hasty assembly lines. What they encountered was resilience born of design and necessity. The Sherman's sloped glacis deflected or absorbed blows that would have gutted flatter armored foes. Even when penetrated, improvements like wet ammunition storage, introduced in later models, reduced catastrophic fires. U.S. Army studies later revealed that crew survivability in Shermans was among the highest of any tank. Many hits wounded but did not kill, allowing men to escape and fight another day. Battlefield reports from Normandy noted Shermans absorbing multiple non-penetrating strikes before reversing or counterattacking. One recurring element haunted these engagements: the distant roar of radial engines, a sound that echoed across the fields like an unending swarm. To the German crews, strained by fuel shortages and mechanical breakdowns, this engine noise symbolized something profound. It was the relentless hum of American industry, factories in Detroit and beyond churning out thousands of tanks, each powered by reliable Wright Continental or Ford GAA engines. Where a Panzer IV might stall from overheated final drives or snapped tracks, the Sherman's power plant kept turning, carrying it forward even after glancing blows. German accounts captured this growing unease. In post-war interrogations and memoirs, tankers from divisions like the 2nd Panzer Division spoke of frustration. Shots that should have killed merely scarred the beast. One commander in the Lehr Division noted how Shermans, hit squarely, often reversed behind cover, repaired hastily, and returned. The expected inferno rarely materialized as anticipated. Instead, the Americans leveraged numbers and mobility, flanking isolated Panzer IVs with coordinated platoons supported by artillery and air power. This experience forced a subtle shift in perception. The ideology of technical superiority, nurtured through early blitzkriegs, began to crack. German crews, once confident in their machines' precision and lethality, confronted an enemy whose tanks embodied not individual excellence, but collective abundance. The Sherman survival was not mere luck. It reflected a system where replacement crews and vehicles arrived in waves, where logistics ensured fuel and parts flowed uninterrupted. The engine's roar became symbolic, a reminder that war's outcome hinged not solely on the finest steel, but on the capacity to sustain the fight. In quiet moments between battles, some German tankers pondered ration packs, chocolate bars, cigarettes, canned fruits, abundances their own supply lines could scarcely provide. These small tokens mirrored the larger truth. A nation capable of such plenty could absorb losses, adapt, overwhelm. As autumn rains turned Normandy's fields to mud, the Panzer IV remained formidable and skilled hands. Yet the stunned glances through periscopes watching Shermans shrug off direct hits and press the attack planted seeds of doubt. Freedom's strength lay not in impenetrable armor, but in the ability to endure, replace, advance. Abundance of machines, men, resolve proved the decisive force. In the end, that dawn near Saint-Jean today whispered a larger truth. Ideologies forged in scarcity falter against those sustained by plenty. The engine's roar faded into history, but its echo endures, a testament to a democracy's unyielding capacity to outlast tyranny through the sheer will to provide, persist, and prevail.